This symposium is a chance to remove barriers between policy and science. It is an opportunity to foster a dialogue between scientists, engineers and officials from both industry and government.
We like to bring people together, people who are active in science, but also people who use scientific results.
I think it's very important in the symposium that it brings together people from the scientific community and from the policymakers and from industry. Really, we need those three groups of people to get mitigation, not only on CO2, but also especially on the non-CO2 greenhouse gases.
It's a good thing if there is a better dialogue between scientists and policymakers. It's two blood groups at this moment. Scientists have another way of working on the subject. And I think a good cooperation between these two groups would be very beneficial for climate policy, but I think also for scientists, because it will generate work for scientists. And it will generate practical knowledge for policymakers.
This is the first time that we have all stakeholders available and that we also have programmed a program with plenary interactive sessions, with workshops, with debates, so it will follow this afternoon, where we try to have very important subjects and we will discuss it with all three stakeholders. So it's a lot of informal talking, but it's also a lot of formal talking organized by, say, the program. And that, I think the good thing about that is that we get a test of ideas, but also a contest of arguments. So if you want to have improvements, you need discussion, you need debate, you need really to have all the pros and cons, and then you can have dialogue, and out of the dialogue you get a system innovation.
The question is, we know enough about NCGG to take measures. If you move to this side, you say, yes, of course we know enough, we can do something now. You say, no, absolutely not. So many people on this side.
We know some and we can take actions, but we don't know enough. So the word enough made me sit here.
Yeah, that's the key word in the motion, of course. Enough. Enough. What is enough for you?
Enough is to meet the targets that we want to meet in terms of greenhouse gas reduction.
I think there are some measures that I think we do know enough about to take. But there's a number of measures where we don't know the cost, we don't know the exact effect, and you don't want to spend a lot of money on measures that only yield a small reduction if there's other available.
That's a good reason for government to wait.
But I do agree that we need to start somewhere with something and we can't wait.
We are now on the eve of Copenhagen. It is our collective responsibility, especially in the West, to take the next ambitious steps.
There are options that are technically relatively simple. CO2 is often affecting overall energy use and is very much connected with the economy as a whole. For non-CO2 gases there are sometimes easier solutions. So it's an important factor in the overall approach.
What I did like to achieve is to get discourse management, so that people talk about the subject and not only talk about scientific solutions, so that the scientists talk about stakeholders in policy and in companies, but that they talk with them. So that has already occurred, and together they can find a good strategy how to implement. So it's not only the money, it is the money and the way how to implement, how to do it.
In order to also to influence or to inform the public is also an important matter. So that completes the chain, in fact.
We have to work on the technical issues, on the research issues, but you have also to work on how it will work in the real world. And this type of discussions, we have not solved them, but I think we have mentioned them, we can clarify it. And I think if you clarify, that's the first step on trying to improve on that.
We have to put the discussions we had here in the line in our ministries to get it at the right tables of the persons who are going to go to Copenhagen and also the process after Copenhagen.
Naturally, the reduction of non-CO2 gases will be one of the summit's priorities. That is why this symposium comes at such an important moment. Your ideas, innovations and solutions will undoubtedly get a hearing in Denmark.